So welcome to another episode of our Unstoppable REI. I get the name mixed up sometimes because we're Unstoppable REI. We're also REI Unstoppable. But today I'm here with my new friend, Rich Wonders. Now, did I get that right? Okay, I wasn't sure if it's Wonder or Wonders.
Wonders with the S. It's
There it
plural.
is. Cool. I'm here with
That's
my
right.
buddy today. And man, let's just get right into it, man. I've been following you online. I've been looking at, reading your story, and I was super excited about meeting you and talking with you. And by the way, man, thanks for being a member of my group. I love being surrounded by smart real estate investors. I love it. So
Thank you. I love what you're doing.
yeah, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. So, man, let's get into it. Tell me your story. Your 30-second, 50-minute elevator pitch, whatever it is. I just want to hear about it. So
Sure.
so hit me with it, man.
Sure. So I'm a Phoenix boy from the desert, born and raised.
Okay.
Had a great childhood. Did martial arts as a kid was kind of my big outlet. Did that with
Nice.
my dad.
Okay.
My dad kind of had an untimely passing when I was 12.
Okay.
And that kind of just changed the course of my life.
I'm sure.
Going in a bad direction.
Okay.
Got into, drugs and partying and, criminal activity and, just some bad things that,
Sure.
lost kids sometimes do.
Absolutely.
Got into music after that, kind of pulled myself a little bit away from that and ended up hitting a rock bottom when I found
Okay.
myself sleeping on the floor in a studio, essentially homeless.
Okay.
Heartbroken, broke up with my girlfriend at the time I was staying with. She kicked me out. I had no money. I had nothing going for me, basically.
At the bottom, right?
Yeah, bottom. And trust me, like it could always be worse, right? So my bottom,
You're right.
I say homeless. I wasn't sleeping outside or anything. It never got to that, but
Okay.
I was at a low point, lower than I wanted to be.
Sure.
Basically had a buddy that helped me out. Started selling Kirby vacuums because I needed a job. Kind of fell into that.
I remember that's back in the day, man. Kirby vacuums.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
over 100-year-old company.
Yeah.
And that was a big blessing in disguise because the guy I worked for, Burkhart, is a very great businessman, very just great man, great motivator. He knew how to pour into people. He knew how to take someone that was down on their luck and build them up into something great.
Okay.
And basically did that for 9 years. Was a top salesperson, a trainer, had my own office for a while.
Nice.
And then that's when I started, basically found my wife.
Okay.
Wasn't my wife yet,
Yeah.
but once we had a baby on the way,
Yeah.
I knew that Kirby was not going to be my direction for the next 9 years.
Okay.
And that's how I fell into wholesaling. I had a buddy, Jared Piper,
Okay.
that I knew was a realtor, and I saw him taking all these crazy trips around the world, and I just reached out saying, "Hey, looks like what you're doing is working out. Like what's going on?" And he told me about wholesaling.
Nice. Okay. And the rest is history, as they say, right?
Yeah. That's where my kind of journey began.
Okay.
And I ended up, working with Sean Terry.
Oh, did you really?
Worked with him for
Nice.
about 2 years. Yeah,
Okay.
we did in-home stuff for the first year. Then we switched to the virtual model right before COVID hit.
Okay.
Learned a ton from him. He's an amazing guy, great mentor,
Absolutely.
great energy. Did that with him for 2 years. Ended up having a really great month, 360 in revenue off my deals.
Wow, that's huge.
Like at that point, I thought basically, I knew everything there was to know. Obviously now looking back, I didn't know much, right?
Right. Yeah.
But me and him got into it over a hiring decision, and I basically didn't play my position, and we ended up parting ways.
Got it.
To put it nicely, right?
Yep.
So from that point, went tried to do my own thing for maybe 6-8 months. Got some good deals, but I wasn't mentally ready for that responsibility.
Okay.
And I didn't work nearly as hard for myself as I did for someone else.
Gotcha. Okay.
And basically took a bunch of vacations, had a bunch of great times, burned through a bunch of money. And, once I was getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm seeing a lot of money going out, not as much coming in.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of reevaluated. And then I started working with Corey Geary.
Okay.
So he's another guy. He teaches novations. Had a great experience with him.
Okay.
Learned the whole novation model, and me and him parted ways about 4 months ago. And now I'm doing wholesale training for a lot of the biggest wholesalers in the country. So I do acquisitions training. I teach novations. I do JV deals. I probably do 10 to 20 deals a month, just on the acquisitions end. And got a course, got some other stuff going on too, a couple new ventures.
Wow, that's fantastic. So basically, from homelessness to world-class wholesaling guru. I mean, that's quite a change, man. Quite a change. So
God is good, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
totally. No, 100%, man. So let me ask you this, man. What do you wish you would have known when you got started?
Man, a lot.
Okay. Just give me one main thing, big thing.
I wish I would have learned more about the power of networking.
Okay.
And the power of aligning yourselves with the right people.
Okay.
And I wish I would have gone harder on that sooner. I'm sure I'd be in a much better position had I realized that truth earlier.
Gotcha. That's interesting you mentioned that, because a lot of the, I guess, with all of the successful real estate investors that I talk to across the country, that tends to be, I mean, that's part of their story, is, what helped them become successful, what they wish they would have, tapped into earlier. I mean, it's networking and building relationships. That's just a huge thing. So that's interesting you say that. So, so tell me about one of your biggest failures and what you learned from that.
So when I had my Kirby office, this was a pretty devastating failure at the time, and it was kind of a life-changing moment. So I did that for about 2 years.
All right.
And it was kind of hit and miss. I had good months, I had bad months, but it got to a point of right before Christmas time. I was down to just a handful of machines. I had maybe 12 to sell.
Okay.
And I had a whole squad of people to feed. And it was at the point where it wasn't lining up, where it looked like this was going to be something sustainable.
Got it.
And I had to shut down my office right before Christmas and basically tell everybody, I'm sorry, guys, I can't do this.
Wow.
I'm out.
Okay.
And I went from being a star salesman working from the guy to now a failed business owner.
Gotcha.
Going back to work for him. And in my mind was like, as soon as I get this Kirby office, I'm going to be a millionaire before no time. Because I saw what my boss had done.
Okay.
And I think that put like a lot of limiting beliefs that I didn't realize. It was just my character and my mental state that held me back. And I was doing something that I wasn't passionate about and I didn't enjoy.
Okay.
So that coupled with other mistakes, and other character defects is, I mean, the best advice I can give to anybody is the more you work on yourself, all the problems that you're dealing with will melt away, because you are the common denominator. And no matter where you go, there you are.
You know what? That's crazy, because that was gonna be my next question, is what advice you give people. So working on yourself. And it's funny, like you said, wherever you go, there you are. So interesting. So why do you think it's so important to work on yourself? And why is that the advice that you would give to somebody?
Because the thing is all the deepest truths of the universe are all very simple. And it's like, for example, how do you lose weight? You go on a calorie deficit and you exercise.
Okay.
So why didn't I do it sooner? Right? It's all mental.
Okay.
It's the stories we tell ourselves. It's the things we put value in and what we prioritize. And the more you get in touch with what you truly desire, it's normally simple but hard work.
Okay.
And I think having the right mentality lets you see through the emotions and see through the adversity and have laser focus on the goal.
Okay.
That's kind of what I've noticed with the people that I work with that are extremely successful, doing millions of dollars of revenue a year, and some of them even a month. They're very focused and very disciplined.
Okay.
And their emotions don't really play a big role in their major decisions. They're very balanced, and they're normally not the problem in a situation, if that makes sense.
Okay.
They're the problem solver. But I think a lot of us, myself especially, we get in our own way a lot.
Yeah.
Because of limiting beliefs, lack of confidence, or lack of putting in the work, really.
Okay. Gotcha. So the people that you work with, it sounds like so are you more of a coach, or are you, teaching them, a consultant? I mean, what exactly, or do you play both of those roles? I mean, what do you do with those people, with your students, with your clients?
Sure. So I work with people in different capacities,
Okay.
because this is all a relatively new venture.
Got it. Okay.
This is all like within the last 5 months, all this developed.
Got it.
So
okay.
Basically, I did a 4-week live training that was just on novations and high-level acquisitions.
Okay.
And from that, I got people reaching out saying, "Hey, look, it was a paid training." So
Yeah.
I got people to come in through there. That
Yeah.
I had a lot of people had knowledge of me from being in Corey Geary's mastermind. He used to play my calls on Novation Pitch. So when they caught wind I was no longer working together with him in the same capacity, they reached out to me. And then with the training, I sell the training a la carte that comes with everything you need for the Novations training.
Okay.
But a lot of the guys I work with now, I can't talk about it too much because it's in its infancy, but we're working on some larger scale projects, doing large teams, some overseas, some domestic.
Okay.
I'm really trying to leverage, the energy and the process of closing these deals into, lots of people, and not just have it me be closing deals for the rest of my life, but transfer that to other people and kind of scale it up.
Totally makes sense. Okay, cool. So I'm definitely going to want to have some conversations with you about that. That's super interesting. So what have been your best resources, man, over your career that's kind of helped you get where you are right now? What do you think? Like maybe your top 2 or 3?
Yeah, YouTube for sure, especially in the beginning.
Okay.
Now not so much in the wholesale space, but in the business space, I look a lot of YouTube stuff.
Okay.
I love Grant Cardone's "Be Obsessed or Be Average."
Okay.
As a book. And I'm big on finding good material that you resonate on and studying it deeply, rather than going through a whole broad volume of stuff.
I see.
And taking little bits and pieces.
Okay.
So I have a few books that I really like. And I have sales, content, and motivational stuff I really like. Okay. I don't really watch a lot of sales training stuff because the process I have, it's effective. Okay. And I have it dialed in, so I don't want to reinvent the wheel, essentially.
Sure. Yeah. Nice.
But I listen to just a lot of positive stuff, and I always try to listen to people that are like several steps ahead of what I'm currently doing, to see how they think and how they tick. And they almost become like my virtual mentor, where
sure.
like I know what they would say in this situation from consuming so much of their content.
Sure. I believe that when you buy people's courses and their books and their stuff, you kind of start off where they are. I mean, not like you become them, but it's like you get a leg up. You know what I mean? You talk to somebody that has, 20 years of experience in real estate investing, then you could start so much further ahead, than if you try to do it on your own. So no, that's cool. Now, you mentioned a couple people's names here, but I'm just curious, who would be your 3 biggest influences in your life? Who would those people be?
We're saying currently, or just in
overall? I think overall, yeah. And they could be current, whatever, but just who are the top 3? Yeah.
Well, I would say one would be Don Burkhart, the guy that owned the Kirby business that I worked for.
Okay, is he still around? Is he still around?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's retired from the business.
Okay.
He's chilling in his house, and he's got kids, and he's involved with them, and he's doing his own thing. But I learned so much from him about training people, dealing with people, business. Okay. Very, very big impact, especially at that time of my life.
Yeah.
Sean Terry, I would say, is another big influence because he brought me into the game, and I got to work side by side with him for all that time. And just seeing how he deals with people and how he does his coaching stuff.
Sure.
Passion, very inspiring.
Okay.
Success, very inspiring. And then the third person would definitely have to be my dad. And he's really the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll save him for the best for last. But my dad, such a great spirit, such a great soul.
Okay.
Really just imparted confidence in me from a very young age. Taught me to work hard, do your best. He used to take me, we used to buy like cheap generic soda at the store. And he'd take me around to the construction sites when I was a little kid. And I was the pop boy. And he would buy the soda. I'd go through and sell it to all the construction workers. He let me keep the money. Nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just taught me from a very early age. Like my dad got sick like when I was really young. So there's a lot of stuff he couldn't do, but he had that ambition and that drive in him. And he really did his best to transfer that in me.
Okay.
And just tons of respect for the guy. Like all fathers and all parents out there that really just pour into their kids. I think that's like one of the most beautiful things you can do.
Sure. And you lost your dad early on, you said? How old
were you?
When I
was 12.
12, okay.
Yeah,
I lost my father too, and I was much older than that, but it's still a huge loss, you know what I mean? So, and I think that's one of the things that I read, one of your posts that really connected with me, because I was like, man, because you just can't take that stuff for granted, and I think that's kind of like what you were talking about in the post. So, but anyway, that's gonna make me go down a whole nother road, and we'll save that for another podcast episode. But so get back to business here, man. So what is like one myth, one real estate investing myth that you could debunk? What would that be?
That you need money to get started.
Okay.
Or you need a lot of money, or you need credit.
Okay.
I think if someone is determined to get started and they have the work ethic, the only thing you would need to do if you have no money is just align yourself with someone that's already doing it.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I would advise anyone to do that doesn't have the capital to invest in mentorship, training. If you already have money, if you have like a high paying career and you're just looking to maybe get in something as a side hustle and maybe replace your current income, I would suggest honestly doing a lot of research and finding the right people that can help you on your journey.
Okay.
It'll take years of your life.
Sure.
Just depends on if you have extra time or if you have extra money to invest. But I wouldn't try to figure everything out on YouTube University. And I wish I would have started earlier. Like I'd be farther along ahead. Because I listened to Sean Terry on YouTube and other guys for a good 6-7 months before I took action.
Okay. How long did you work with Sean?
2 years.
2 years, okay. Because Sean's been around for a while, hasn't he? I mean, he was like one of the pioneers, maybe I want to say. I don't know. He's been around for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, he had one of the first wholesaling podcasts. I mean, with information products, he's done.
Yeah, Flip to Freedom, right?
Millions of dollars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sean's the guy.
He's an OG. Sure.
Okay, cool. So
I think he started 2007. I want to say was when he got.
Man, that's a long time ago. That's crazy. That's before people even knew what wholesaling was, really, right? I mean, interesting. So, Rich, if you were on this side, you were asking you the questions. I mean, what would you ask you that I'm not asking? I mean, what should I be asking you? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, what should I be asking you about?
Man, that's a good question, man.
Yeah.
So, I would say, like, the one thing I would want to impart on the listeners is this. Okay, if you're looking to get into the real estate journey, or if you're already doing it, I would just impart for you to look at the end goal of what you want as a lifestyle and as a way of being.
Okay.
And then figure out how to work that backwards into a plan. Because what most people do is they think, well, what options are available to me? And then they try to figure out a way with what they can see in front of them to maybe get to this foggy goal that's down the line.
Okay.
I would say crystallize your vision of where you want to go and have clarity on that. That's the most important thing. Because if you have that certainty, you will look for options that are not right in front of you. And if you are just so certain that, look, this is what I want and this is where I'm going, and I
Yeah.
will find a way. It's not going to be tomorrow, and it's not going to be easy, but I will do this. That will force you to think outside of the box and
Okay.
think bigger than what your mind wants to, because your mind just wants to see what's right in front of you.
Yeah. Sure. And that'll force you
And
to think
I would
bigger.
advise that. I wish I would have thought bigger a lot long time
Okay.
ago.
Well, like
You
you
know,
said, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's
Oh,
what I would say. Get a clarity on your vision and then
okay.
figure out the how. And it's not really as much about the how as it is about the who.
Got it.
So don't try to do everything yourself. I would align yourself with people because you're probably really good at a couple things. They're
Yeah.
probably not very good at other things. That's how
Right.
I am. That's how most people operate.
Yeah. No, it makes total sense. So, all right, before I hit you with the last question, by the way, I appreciate, man, you're throwing out gold here. These are, that's gold nuggets. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Before I hit with the last question, how do people get a hold of you, man, if they want to connect with you? What's the best way for people to do that?
Yeah. So I'm most active on my Instagram. It's at richwonders.buys.houses.
Okay.
We do have a Discord community and a nationwide community of real estate entrepreneurs called the REI Allies, like Real Estate Investor Allies.
I like
And
it.
it's reiallies.com. We're based out of Phoenix, but we have members all over the country. And basically what we do, we have our private Discord group that we have real estate discussions, mindset, fitness, basically everything about upward progression.
Okay.
And we do cool live meetups in Phoenix right now, but we're looking to open up chapters nationwide. We do stuff like we go off-roading, we shoot guns, we go to paintball,
Okay.
we do water sports, we go on trips, we just do cool stuff together.
Nice.
Where we talk about real estate some, but we all
Yeah.
just kind of fellowship and link up with like-minded people, and we all
Right.
grab nuggets because everybody's got their own things that they're really good at, and we
Okay.
just uplift each other. That's why it's the REI Allies.
Yeah.
We just say, look, these are our people. We're going to take care of each other. This is how we're doing it, and then we have fun and we just celebrate life.
Nice. I like it. So, yeah, because that's really what it's all about is life, right? I mean, it's doing life together. And you just, the real estate kind of comes as a part of that, which, like you said before, about the networking and the relationships. And that really is kind of the key. So I'm noticing that in the background there, one of my absolute favorite games, Monopoly, back there.
That's right.
Do you like Monopoly?
I do. It's
Yeah.
fun. I don't play it very often, but
Yeah.
I love the concept of it. And
Absolutely.
It's a great game.
That's what we do, right? So, all right. So here's the last question, man. So,
Yeah.
if you were to Google the term real estate investor failure rate, okay, you'll see that 95% of real estate investors fail. Now, you obviously are succeeding, so you're among the 5%, top 5%. So, I want to know two things. I want to know how you define unstoppable. What does that word unstoppable mean to you? And I want to know, how did you, when it came to achieving success in an industry with a 95% failure rate, how did you make yourself unstoppable?
Unstoppable. I love that word.
Yeah.
Love that. So, couple things.
Okay.
My Kirby background and my background before that of just kind of being around rough people, rough situations.
Yeah.
You learn to build a backbone, because if you don't, you're going to get eaten up.
Got
right.
It.
And,
sure.
Before that in Kirby, that kind of was the precursor to that. And then
Okay.
in Kirby, banging doors and getting people to let you in their house, doing
That's
it 6
brutal.
days a week,
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
12 hours? 12 hours a day?
There'd be some days it'd be 12, there'd be some days it'd be 14, 15 hours. Like we hustled hard.
Grinding. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And you learned you only got paid for the result, right? So you could work a 12-hour day and make $0 and not get into a single house.
Okay.
And so it taught me that it's about the result and finding a way to the result, because excuses nobody cares about.
Right.
And also, if someone else can do it, I told myself I can do it. I just need to learn what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's possible. I just needed to know that it was possible and that I could figure it out. But there was many times I wanted to quit, honestly.
Oh, sure.
Many times. And there was sleepless nights. There was deals that fell through that I was counting on.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. I couldn't quit. I knew what my vision was. I wasn't starting over on something else. And at the end of the day, I did enjoy it. But it was just that determination, and it was just this thing that it wasn't about anything other than providing for my family.
Yeah.
And I knew that this was the vehicle that could get me to the vision of traveling the world,
Yeah.
having freedom of time, being there for my kids growing up. I knew if I could just work hard enough on this path, I could make it. And that was it. And sometimes I just grit my teeth, and sometimes I wanted to quit. Put a crazy text message in, and I never sent it. You know what I mean? There was days like that.
I know. I love it. Man, you said, and I was trying to write down fast as you was talking. I was going to write one other thing down. That you said 3 things, man, that stood out to me that are ways to define unstoppable that I hadn't really thought about. So one thing you said was finding a way. Because to me, success really is about just setting a goal to improve yourself or your situation, and then not allowing anything to stop you. Okay. But this, what you said, takes it to another level. So you said finding a way. I mean, you said a bunch of great stuff, but the things that keyed in on finding a way, refusing to quit, and knowing that it's possible. And that is, and yeah, you got to grit your teeth. Yes, there are going to be tough days. You said something else too, that your family was your reason why. I mean, because you need to have a strong reason why when those days get tough. And there's absolutely nothing tougher than having to eat what you kill. I mean, I spent 15 years. I own a real estate company, and 100% commission. I mean, that's brutal. But that's not as brutal as knocking on doors selling vacuum cleaners. That's brutal. So to get through that. So anyway, man, I'm going off subject, but I really that hit the nail on the head. So Rich, man, I am so glad that we had a chance to hook up. Man, I love what you're doing. I love your vibe. Man, I'm gonna have to put my hair in a ponytail and get some tats, man. I'm gonna have to and learn to surf. That's just the way it is. I'm just gonna.
Well, man, we're gonna do some deals and go to Hawaii together, man.
Let's do it, man. And totally, I appreciate your time. And this is not the last time we're gonna connect. So I definitely wanna. I'm not really even familiar with novations. I've heard that term. In fact, recently I've heard it more than I ever have in my whole career. So I would love to learn more about that, and and just learn more about what you guys are doing. I love the REI. What is it called? REI
Allies.
Allies. Yeah, that's just great. That's great. Just doing life together. So definitely, man. This is not gonna be our last time, but I really appreciate your knowledge, the gold nuggets that you're dropping, the bombs you're dropping here, and so. But let's stay in touch, man. For real, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
We'll be talking soon, Rufus. I appreciate you.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, you have a great evening, man. And man, I saw the picture of your family, man. You guys got a great looking bunch. Just a cool crew, man. I really appreciate that. I've got 4 kids. My kids are all older. How many do you have? Is it 4?
4.
Yeah. Okay. 2. How many girls? How many boys?
3 girls and 1 boy.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got 2 and 2. Okay. How's that boy doing with all those girls? All right.
Oh, he's doing great. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like 1.5. So he's
okay.
They all love on him. He's got a great situation. Yeah.
Nice. All right, man. Well, we're going to go down a whole nother road. So I'm going to let you run, my friend. Thanks again for your time. And we're going to talk again soon, okay?
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Rufus.
All right, you bet. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.